So hey guys, welcome to another video, and I know I said I won't be making any videos on the 24th or the 25th, but I just got bored. Now today I want to talk a little bit about Guild Wars 2, which is a game that I always download around Christmas. I just really like the events that happen around Halloween and Christmas. They're just really cool. I like doing all the achievements. But also, it's Christmas, so it's time for the annual DE/DDoS. The servers are just going up and down, so I just don't even bother to check it anymore. I'm just gonna wait a couple of days before they're stable again. Now, I've been playing Guild Wars 2 on and off since launch, and I really enjoyed the game. I mean, bloody hell, I got 100% world completion on my Necromancer, so every single pre-expansion zone for me is done. I did all the hard quests, did all the skill challenges, found all the points of interest, did all the resets, and I even did all the jumping puzzles. Unfortunately though, after I did that, after I got 100% world completion, this feeling of sort of lack of purpose, I suppose, kicked in, and I didn't really know what to do. You know, I would log in and I would go, maybe I could do a little bit of world versus world, or maybe SPVP, dry top, silver wastes. I don't know, because before I would log in and I would be like, okay, I haven't finished this zone, this zone, this zone, let's do this zone. But once all the zones were done, I was lost. And if it was a particularly slow day in World versus World, you know, no one's capping anything, no one's really doing much. Or maybe we got a bad matchup, so we're either getting stomped by the other two realms, or we are stomping the other two realms, which neither of those is particularly fun. I wouldn't play World versus World either, so all that was left to do, I thought, was either SPVP, or world bossing, or just grinding events. And SPVP as a Necromancer can be a lot of fun if the other team is full of potatoes. If it's not, they're gonna focus you and murder you, because Necromancers are known for causing great damage if left unchecked. But they're also known for not being very mobile, so the enemy team usually just focuses me down, because if they don't, they die. Now, to kind of combat this lack of purpose, I'm just gonna call it, I decided to set myself a couple of goals this time around. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to share those goals with you guys, because I know there are people out there that have the same issues as I am, just aimlessly running around until they get bored and uninstall the game, due to the amount of what can I do at level 80 threads that you find all over the internet. So goal number 1, craft a legendary weapon. Up until now, I was just using exotic because they're kind of good enough, and the one I decided to go for is the Nevermore, which is a big staff with a raven on it. Goal number 2, get a full set of ascended gear. Now this is one tier above exotic gear, which is the one I'm using, and I didn't bother to upgrade it because the stat increase is kind of minuscule, so you know, you don't really need ascended gear, but once again, you know, it's something to go for, so I decided that that's gonna be goal number 2. Goal number 3 was to climb out of the Potato League in SPVP, because I've completely screwed up my placement matches. I was playing terribly with a bad build and I ended up in Bronze 2. But in the last couple of days, I've tweaked my build a lot to a point where I now have a completely different build, and I've kind of remembered what to do and how to play the map. So I actually started winning games, and I went from Bronze 2 to Silver 1. Now, I would be very happy if I could make it to Gold, but not so sure about that one. I was, at the end of the day, placed in the Potato League for a reason. Goal number 4 is to 100% all the expansion maps, so everything in Heart of Thorns, but I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of these maps. I don't have an awful lot of masteries unlocked, and without masteries, moving around the maps is just really cumbersome. It's annoying. So my goal number 5 should probably be to unlock more masteries from Heart of Thorns. But it is not. My goal number 5 is to finally start running dungeons and eventually move on to fractals, which are kind of like heroic dungeons. The reason why I didn't do this earlier, even though I'm a big fan of PvE in MMOs, is because it just infuriates me how unorganized the dungeons are. I really have to change my mindset when it comes to dungeons in Guild Wars 2, which is something I've yet to do. Because, you know, I'm used to having a proper tank, proper healer, 3 DPS, boom, dungeon. In Guild Wars 2, you don't have a proper tank, you don't have a proper healer, it's just a meat grinder from start to finish. And the reason I want to get into dungeons and eventually fractals is because when I see other people play them with a different mindset, they're having a blast and they look like a lot of fun, you know? Those people aren't standing there like me going, oh my god, I would choke a bitch for a taunt right now. They're just having a blast. So I want to try and get into that mindset and see if it's actually fun for me or not. I really don't want to dismiss an entire part of the game because I'm a stubborn moron. So that's all the goals that I've set for myself in Guild Wars 2 to kind of see if it can keep me playing the game, because I'm loving the game while I'm playing it, but as I've said already, after a while this lack of purpose always kicked in for me because I had no idea what to do, so I just logged in less and less and less until I eventually uninstalled the game. Now with the amount of spare time I have working on YouTube, these goals are going to take a very long time to achieve, but that was the point, to give me something that would keep me logging in for months. Because once I log in and I start doing stuff, I'm hooked for an hour or two, sometimes even 3 or 4. I have spent many nights that should have been spent sleeping, running around the World vs. World battlegrounds or the world in general and having a blast. And you know what? Maybe it would not be a bad idea to level up another character, because I've been thinking about playing either a druid or an engineer for a while now. So maybe leveling up another character, you know, and going through the world again and having this goal in front of me of doing the world completion again would not be a bad idea, because I've never really leveled up an alt properly. You know, and that's what kind of killed World of Warcraft Legion for me, the newest expansion. The expansion is really fun, but I played my druid and I was like, I'm not really liking it. And then I realized it's the druid. I don't like my druid. So I leveled up a shaman and I was like, oh my god, this is a lot of fun. This shaman is a lot of fun. But my druid! And I started playing the druid again and I just killed it for myself. And I'm starting to ramble a little bit too much for my liking, so I'm gonna stop it right here. I thank you very much for watching, as always. And I will see you next time. Bye bye.